Hey, aloha. Brother Richie, your backseat quarterback. I am live. This is Wednesday show this week. No school yesterday. So, had the kid, went golfing with the kid. She's 8, almost 9. I tell her if you want to go to college, just shoot 80. Plenty of scholarships out there. Brother Richie, your backseat quarterback. A little different today. I had not much sleep last night. Bro, I'm hooked on The Bear. I don't know. Anybody watch that streaming? So, since the bullshit of YouTube TV still doesn't have ESPN, because what? Billionaires fighting over millions of dollars and they take away ESPN from YouTube TV. Fuck you, by the way. Corporate greed, America. Fucking bullshit. But got to have my ESPN, so I had to subscribe to Disney Plus. But on the bright side, some good shows on there. The Bear is phenomenal, by the way. I'm like 2, 3, 4 episodes a night. I was up till 3 a.m. Then the Yard Crew came through this morning at 8. So I'm looking on about 3 hours sleep. I'm just going to go through my notes today. I'm going to do this is kind of how I did the first couple years. You know, I've been a little more structured this year, segments. I'm just going to go, let's say, old school. First of all, hey, imagine this. Let's look at the stats. You know, you guys that are all based on analytics. See this? This is the winning teams. Look at I document every single play. The winning teams run the ball 53.3% of the time. And they pass 46.7%. That's the winning teams. Look at the losing teams. They pass 59% and run 41%. Winning teams, 50-50. Even more. Losing teams, 60-40. Every fucking week for the 3 years I've been doing it, probably since the beginning of time. I just don't understand. James Cook in a pouring rain downstorm, 13 rushes, and they're throwing the ball 40 times. These are guys that just don't get enough carries in a loss. Minnesota, 2 running backs only get 13 carries between them. Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones. Rookie quarterback, basically, throwing the ball 43 times. That never threw in college. Always had a good running game and a defense. Their defense is fine. CMC, 12 rushes, 20-point loss. 12 rushes. I know he carried the ball 28 times last week. Doesn't mean you just cut him down to 12. Baker Mayfield, I mean, shouldn't he have 3 or 4 quarterback runs? He's tough and play action, you know, little bootleg. 0 rushes for Baker. He saved 2 games on scrambles this year. Jaylen Warren, 14 rushes. And that's just a handful. Look at the losers. 36 times the Giants throwing with Jackson Dart, and then he gets hurt running, I might add. Tampa, 43 passes. Arizona, backup quarterback throwing 45 times, 22 rushes only. I don't know. Mac Jones throwing 39 times, and CMC gets 12 carries. I don't know. And if I was going to go 3 big things, 2 of them would be run the fucking ball. And then snap the fucking ball. How many times 3rd or 4th and inches and you're just blue 82, oh, jump. Now it's 4th and 6. Now you got to punt. And I mean, to me, it's common sense and it's science and it's biology. If a guy's in a 3-point stance and his legs are burning and the guy across from him can jump around and move around and dig his feet in, seems like every second that you're in that stance, that the advantage goes to the other guy. I'm going to write letters to some coaches. I was thinking Jim Harbaugh first, handwritten letter, and just say, Coach, I have a podcast, and everybody does. It's a radio show, I call it. I'll give him the link. I just wonder why more teams, and maybe not even everyone, doesn't just get on the ball 50% more and just say set hut. Just like the blocking sled. Don't let the defense time to set up, catch them off guard. Your offensive linemen are in a sprinter's stance, just ready to go, set hut, and blow off the ball. Just like in practice, just like with coach on the blocking set. Especially on short yardage plays. I mean, my God. Green Bay in the fourth quarter last night, or Monday night. 4th down and 2, shotgun, and hand it off like a draw play to Josh Jacobs. And he's just, they're in the backfield as they're doing long count and hand off from shotgun, and he gets tackled and fumbled. The fumble didn't matter because it's 4th down and 2. I mean, wouldn't it be better just go up the gut and say, set hut? And if you do go up the gut on 4th and inches, spread out some receivers and have some gaps on your offensive linemen. It just seems like me and my friends are smarter than these guys. And I say it a lot that the NFL's run by idiots. And they're not making me change my mind. I'm talking from ownership, coaching staffs, officiating, even players, all the way down. I'm sure their ball boys just going, bro, I got a better play than that. Let me go talk to coach. Every fucking week, look at it. Winning team, 53% run. Losing team, 41% run. Every week, it's the same old shit. Don't turn the ball over. This week was the most times, 5 times a team with more turnovers won. On the season, through 11 weeks, only 22 times has a team with more turnovers won a game. That's 2 a week. Penalties, 72 and 61. So, you can lose a penalty battle. I think penalties is the key moment penalties more than the number. And then sacked, 83 and 38. The team with less sacks given up is 83 and 38 on the season. Don't get sacked. Don't turn the ball over and run the ball. It's a recipe. And if your offensive line sucks, get on the ball and say set hut. I think run blocking and going forward out of a sprinter stance is a lot easier than backing up and trying to take on the best athlete on the other team. But Justin Herbert got sacked 6 times with a beat up line, but they rushed for 98 yards. So when they do run the ball with a crappy line, it's better than giving up 6 sacks. You're down 10 points in the second quarter. That's when you should abandon the pass. Actually, they're looking for pass. They're not loading up the box when they're up 14. And then, I see it all the time. 3, 4, 5 great runs, 8 yards, first down, 12 yards. Oh, shit, we got to throw now. Then you're sacked. Now it's 2nd and 17, and all that momentum out the window. It is just frustrating as shit. The play calling and the scheme and the formations in certain times in the game. I'm telling you, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, full time. Clock management, assistant head coach, and game management, assistant head coach, and that's all they do. Year round. Let's get to the notes. Here's what I do every week. I got about 6 pages. I'm just not feeling very good. I'm tired. Hey, Why did they not call a false start? That is a great question. This is Jack's sister, Lori. Welcome, Lori. Thank you so much. Uh, it has to be done by after this year, right? I mean, I've been against it since day one. There's plenty of guys. I remember especially our angry runs, Kyle Brandt, super into it. If you can't stop it, do it yourself. And if you can't stop it, last night or Monday night was atrocious. I saw it I'm just saying, where's the flag? I mean, it was so obvious. A lot of the times it's so minute and it's only in slow motion, but and then the fumble against, I think it was Carolina. Oh no, against the Giants. That is a fumble. How do they call his forward progress stop when you let the play go past that every time anyway? So if you can't stop it and the officials can't officiate it and they're wrong almost every time, just please, God, I don't ask for much. Make it be gone. I don't know. Lori, Jack Hammer's sister, I got his Raider hat. So I fired Chip Kelly and I hired Jack from the bar. Hardcore Raider fan. I think he'd do better. I mean, you probably give the ball to Ashton Genty more than about 11 times a game. So I got him a Raiders hat, says OC. So if you go down to the bar, you know where. If you know, middle of the Pacific Ocean, Hawaii. I'll give you a hint. It's right about here. Me and Jack Hammer. So thanks for the question. I don't have an answer. They should have just outlawed it last year. And if they bring it back next year, then that's an atrocity to the league. It's a joke. What? 3 out of 4 times, 60, 70% of the time. And it's always the left guard. And they're blowing off early. I mean, the one on Monday night was just incredulous that there's no flag. Obvious. They aren't so obvious when it's bang, bang like that. But Monday night, my God. I think he was even surprised. He kind of stepped left and wins. Like, oh, I guess they're letting us run it. So, yeah, it just doesn't look good. It's not football. It's rugby. Other teams could try. Yeah, but, other teams don't want to blaspheme the game, maybe. Or they don't have a guy that squats 600 pounds and a top 3 offensive line. So I have no idea. But please, if there is God above, no more tush push. I saw the guy sign, just said tush push, boo. That was pretty good. I got some shaking my heads like this. Atlanta Falcons, your very first play is 12 yards. Bijan run. Second play, incomplete. Third play, sack. When you get 12 yards on your first play of the game, why are you not running the ball 100% the next play? Why don't we just get on the ball and say set hut and see what happens? Set hut, muddle, set hut. See how bad the defense is worn down after about 5 plays. Set hut. I mean, I clamor for this every week, week in, week out. And especially on 3rd and 4th and inches. Just get on the ball. Snap the fucking ball. If I'm Bijan Robinson, I'm furious, bro. I do all the work and Tyler Algier gets most of the touchdowns. Yeah. I saw there was a hilarious TikTok and the guy has one of these on. He has like this. He's all, okay. CMC got us down to the 1. Christian James Clay, 3rd string tackle. Yeah. Christian James Clay, get in. Wait, coach, what are you doing? CMC? Yeah, I know. But there's some guy in Nebraska has CMC on his fantasy league. I want Christian James Clay to get this touchdown. 3rd string tackle. We're going to cut him next week. But, Christian James Clay. Get in there. He's all, what, me? Where's my helmet? I mean, it could be the money. It could be incentives. Bijan has 10 touchdown, $1 million or something. So make sure he gets 9 only. Like they don't have enough fucking money. When it's 3rd and 4th, just snap the fucking ball. Green Bay's the worst. Seems like every play they're in formation for 12 to 15 seconds, barking out signals. If you're actually changing the play is one thing. You're doing nobody any favors. Your offensive linemen, their legs are burning. They're in the 3-point stance for 15 seconds. And the defense is jumping around and guys are coming in the gap and looking and seeing. If you got on the ball and just said set hut, I want to write Jim Harbaugh will be my first letter to say, can you explain to me why we don't do this more? I think he's the type of guy that if it's a handwritten letter, care of Jim Harbaugh, he might say, well, what's this about? Hip drop tackle, they don't call it. I see it 2-3 times a game. I don't know if they're finding them, but they don't call it. It's dangerous as shit and it's illegal and there's never a flag. Somebody's out. Who is it? Somebody's out and bitching about it. And bro, I got a grab bag. It's hard enough for the defense. If the guy's sprinting off the field and he's this close to the sideline and they snap the ball, NHL rule. You know how NHL, when they make a shift change, as long as the guys are coming toward the sideline, it's just, like all the rules aren't just 100% dead set against the defense anyway. Every 3rd down and every kick return, what are you doing as a fan? Every 3rd down pass, every kick return, looking for that little yellow, awesome, the flag box. I mean, it works out in your favor sometimes when it's on the other team, but I'm so sick of that little flag box. How many penalties this week? 22, 10, 13, 11, 18, 17, 20, 11, 12. It's average like 13 penalties a game. That's 3 a quarter. It's not what we're here for. I was watching that game in Berlin, bro. I'd be bummed if I had end zone seats. It's like, here's the field. And here's the seats. And there's 50 yards from the back of the end zone, track, stands. If you're in the second row in the end zone in Berlin, you're bummed. I paid $600 for this. Daniel Jones is back to Danny Nichols. That worries me if I'm a Colt. He's turning into the turnover machine. Well, against Pittsburgh, they just stopped running the ball. Just, inconceivable. Inconceivably, unless that was just a Vegas game. Sometimes Vegas just makes the rules. I'm a firm believer. I just saw one that came up on one of my feeds was from a couple years ago. Huge money on, who was it? It was college. It was like Georgia Tech was the underdog. And it was Oklahoma, somebody at home. Huge money line. It was 20-point spread, so I'm sure all the money both ways. Seahawks or Rams, I think. Still hate to say, but the Chiefs are right there. Jack wondering who the best teams. But get back to that. Ravens are in the playoffs, bro. I think. Only one game out of Pittsburgh. I don't trust Pittsburgh. Aaron's looking old. Back to this college game. A lot of money on the favorite. I can't remember. It was LSU, I think, against Georgia Tech 2 years ago. Minute left, no timeouts for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's down 3. Instead of kneeling on the ball, it was first down, first or second down. They could have kneeled on the ball and run the clock out. They're in shotgun. They hand off. Guy runs up the middle, his elbows down. They strip the ball. They don't even overturn. They don't even look at it. They say our ball for Georgia Tech. And then they're playing tight man D with a shell cover. Nobody deep, and they throw a bomb and beat them on the last play of the game. Probably hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. It just makes you wonder. Things that make you go, I got a couple questions. Jack Hammer. Chance of Ravens making a run 100%. This defense every year starts slow and comes around. I think they're getting healthy. Derrick Henry, they haven't been using him a whole lot, and just having Lamar back. They're only one game out. Do you trust Pittsburgh? Burrow's close to back. They're only 3 games out. Then, you got Tua Jr. in Cleveland. Bro, both those guys, any pass over 30 yards looks like a punt. And it's just, left-handed, and it's just, I remember Tyreek Hill's back there making fair catches for Tua when he was healthy. Dylan Gray, you know what? I'm not drafting a 5'10", 180-pound quarterback. I go back to draft day. Chances of, best team in the league. I like Seahawks. Jack says Seahawks. He's the new OC for the Raiders. I think Seahawks are right there. Seahawks at Rams this week, yeah. I think they'll probably go home and home. Let me make sure it's at LA. Yep. LA -3. It's just, do we trust Darnold that much to be the best team in the league yet after, he had a great regular season, but the Detroit game last year and then the playoff game against the Rams. And he just doesn't have a whole lot of experience. Look at Stafford. Stafford's been through it all. The only player ever in history with 3 straight games of 4 touchdowns and 0 turnovers. So I might go Rams. And like I said, fucking hate to say it, but KC, they got to be top 3 or 4. Just because they're scary, and they'll probably got the refs back in their pocket because the Swifties, got a little disinterested for a while. So you got to bring that $1 billion back. If you want to talk rigged and conspiracy, some things are conspiracy fact. I'm not saying this is. I'm just saying there's a real good chance. Like, conspiracy fact is that there's no way that Lee Harvey Oswald had a magic bullet that went like this when people heard shots over here. Conspiracy fact, did we land on the moon? They're making phone calls. I don't know. Best teams in the league. Well, you got to have the Browns up there, the Titans, Commanders coming around. No, just kidding. I don't think the Colts are it. Yeah. Ravens might be. Bills aren't it. Bills are just weird. Talk about another conspiracy thought. What the hell was Josh Allen doing on Sunday? I mean, there's some throws in this like he didn't even care. I mean, is it Jimmy Chainsaw just saying, "Hey, Haley, I know where you live. Haley's home alone tonight, right? Okay, here's how it goes tonight. 96% of the money on Miami. They pick a couple every week to not make it too obvious. Think the slots aren't rigged a little bit? Think roulette's not rigged a little bit? Think they build all those mansion skyscrapers on losing ever? So, maybe it's time. They say you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Maybe this toothpaste of legalized gambling, maybe it should go back to Vegas. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry spending half their money. Did it turn from like $3 billion to $300 billion? Some crazy in the last 3 years since it became legal. DraftKings. Bet MGM, ESPN Bet. Every platform has their betting now, and it's almost like evil just sticking its talons in. 4th and 2, Indy. Pitch sweep. 4th down and 2, pitch sweep, 6 yards deep. What's with going for 2 lately? That's another, that's a tough 2 yards in the NFL. And it just seems my biggest, weirdest, who the fuck's analytics is this? When you're down 14, so you score the touchdown, now you're down 8 and you go for 2. Since when? I mean, if you want to go for 2 for the win, I mean, I guess so, you have to go for 2 next time, but seems like you're chasing those points a lot. Once you miss a 2, then you go for 2 again. Now you're 2 points behind. And, a play here and there doesn't really matter in the long run of things, but I do believe that those extra points, you can add that point at the end of the game and say you would have had that point. Not much is going to change in the outcome of the game if you kick the extra point. Field goals, not so much. And fucking kickers, 3 more PATs missed. I know they put it back 15 yards, but you got one fucking job, bro. Hey, guys. They're about as big as me. Remember one bar? Okay, guys, let's go. Don't put it on your kicker. Just win the game. Fucking idiots. Just kick the PAT. Fucking idiots. That's in my notes. Fucking idiots. Just kick the PAT. Everybody, Caleb Williams, and he's got better numbers and got the great coach, Ben Johnson, is great for him, and he's not taking sacks, and he's not behind the chains, and he's really matured, but I've watched quite a bit of Bears football, and that guy leaves a lot of clean pockets. That guy's running backwards a lot. He has the athletic ability to get out of it most of the time. He could still be taking a lot of sacks. And I'm sure it drives Ben Johnson batshit crazy. And they're 6-3. And I mean, he has winning touchdown drives. And, not taking the sacks. But I see a lot of him running this way. Lot. And guys open that he could just 1, 2, 3 and get rid of the ball. Sometimes it's a curse to be that athletic with that big of an arm. Okay, let's talk about Mr. Sunshine. Hey, guys. Shoots, brah. Mr. Sunshine. Trevor Lawrence. This weird shit, you suck. You shouldn't suck. I think I have the answer. I think I have the antidote. Cut your fucking hair, bro. Hey, it's time. It's great for Anzalone and Von Dinkle, whatever. It's great for Golden Richards, even Kenny Stabler. You're the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar business. Cut your fucking hair. I think guys would take you more serious. That look is played, bro. It's kind of gee. Gey. Gee. Time to cut the hair. Be a real man. Take control of the huddle. Take control of the game. Don't blow a 19-point lead in the 4th quarter and cut your hair. It's like opposite of Samson. Your hair is your weakness. Firm believer. Fair catch at the 6, at the 5, at the 2. I've seen a fair catch at the 2-yard line. This is what I'm talking about. The NFL's run by fucking idiots. There's no fucking excuse. That's a game management coach's job. Plant your fucking feet on the 10-yard line. If the ball goes over your head, we take our chances. Or if it looks like there's plenty of room and you catch at the 8, you damn well better be returning it. Dylan Gabriel, Tua Jr., bro. Oh yeah, I was thinking it takes me back. Let's go back to the draft process of what, 6 years ago. What was it? 2020, maybe 19. So we're in the draft war room, the thought process leading up to the draft. Okay, here's Miami. So we got this 6'5" guy with a cannon arm, and he's athletic and mobile, and he's a 4.2 student in like rocket science. Okay, in this hand. In this hand, we have a weak arm, left-handed, slow, 5'10", 170-pound, injury-prone guy that blew out his hip in college. 6'5", cannon arm, brilliant. 5'5", 100 pounds, no arm, hurt. Hmm. 6'5", 5'5". Let's go this guy. NFL's run by idiots. There's been a few. It's like the Mitch. Let's trade up. Okay, there's this guy Mitch Trubisky. He's only played 15 games, but I saw one or two great plays. If we move up and we take him and he works out, we'll look like geniuses. Patrick Mahomes, nobody knew he's going to be one of the greatest ever, but you knew he's going to be pretty damn good. Deshaun Watson was in 2 national championship games and beat Alabama and mobile. But let's trade up for this guy. He went to North Carolina. Nobody saw that coming because nobody should have. Only you saw that coming. We all saw coming what happened. Baltimore had a 3rd and 2 quick count spread formation. Derrick Henry first down. That's what I'm talking about. Break the huddle, muddle even, on the ball, spread, not 22 guys in a phone booth, set hut, up the gut, 2 yards, first down with the guy that should be carrying the ball. What happened to the coffin corner kick? I saw one. It was beautiful. That's all they used to do. Jackson Dart, bro. Well, Daboll's fired for running him 23 times or something. Injuries are no excuse, Giants, too. Terrible. Blue. I don't know how you lost that Denver game. I don't know why you're throwing the ball. It's kind of like 28-3. Everybody knows that one. In the 3rd quarter, if the Falcons would have ran the ball every single play, run the clock and run the ball and punt, get 3 or 4 first downs, game over. There's just not enough possessions, not enough time. Why are you throwing the ball when you're up 22 points in the 4th quarter, period? Game management coach. Full time. To a junior, even on Dylan Gabriel's touchdown pass. It's just. So the money line, let's see. Buffalo, 97% loss. Carolina, 95% loss. These are all the teams that were 84 or 80% or above. So Philly, Rams, Detroit, Seattle, Chicago. See, they picked 2 a week. And this week's was 97 and 95%. Only Detroit and Seattle had more percentage. Look at the money line. Look at the ones that are 90% and pick 2. I'm going to go back. I don't know if I can go back. I'm going to go ahead for sure. I meant to do this earlier. Yeah. I mean, there's a rumor I just heard somewhere in the back of my head. Somebody out there that Josh Allen might have had some South Beach flu. Did they stay out? Just you take a team for granted in the NFL? When you're that flat and you get that smoked by not a great defense that just lost one of their best players in a trade, and it's 16-0 at half, and your best running back doesn't carry the ball in a monsoon. Things that make you go, who? Snap the fucking ball. Snap the ball, run the ball, idiots. It's in my notes. Middle of the day, just Snap the ball, run the ball, idiots. More indictments, gambling, Major League Baseball. I had what, 2 pitchers that were throwing pitches and counts and insider gambling. That makes NBA had the big one. Still looking into that. College hoops had 6 guys recently. Major League Baseball just waiting for the other shoe to drop. NFL and NCAA football, unless they're so big that even the FBI's rigged. I don't know. Maybe Jimmy Chainsaw runs that too. I don't want to get a knock on the door. Sorry. Yeah. All of a sudden, Miami D is just world class. Sure. Kickers can shave their butts. Jack says kickers should shave their butts. I agree. He just said kickers can shave. Oh, points. Oh, that too. I thought you meant their beard too. Just don't try to be a man. If you're a kicker, just come in baby faced. Kickers, definitely, especially with the extra point. I didn't even think of kickers as much. Quarterbacks for sure. Offensive linemen for sure. I got to pick kickers big time. I don't know why I just bitch about them missing kicks. With the extra point move back, it's a perfectly good excuse. Very true, Jack. Nice point. Thanks, bro. You're my best. I'm never gonna forget you, Jack, when I make it huge. When I got three of my 4 things I'm working on blow up, and you're never gonna have to work again, Jack. I promise. That is so true. I didn't even think of kickers. Plus, they're probably the most scared. No, he's gonna get me. So true. Kickers, bro. I was thinking of something. Josh Allen straight up throwing this game. Bullshit. Right in the middle of the game. I mean, there's a pick he threw in the end zone. Like, what the? It's first down. What are we doing? And then, he acts like he's mad, but sometimes it just seems like he just don't care. Yeah, maybe it's time to delegalize gambling. Back to Vegas, where it's only $1 billion every week instead of 300 billion or whatever it is. It's some exorbitant amount more of gambling since it became legal. What was I thinking? There's something else I was going to say about something. Do incentives have a play in who gets the ball? Oh, yeah. Justice Hill got a touchdown. Derrick Henry gets him to the 2. Why? How about Lane Kiffin? Sure. I like Lane Kiffin. I think, he coached him in Coach Jackson Dart in college, and he's been around the block. You can't really count his Oakland days. Al Davis was senile, and they just sucked since then. And, I think he's young, up and coming, offensive minded, and I think he has his head on straight. And I think I'd put Kiffin with the Giants. I heard another Cowherd said Mike McCarthy, and I hate the retreads, but that guy's won with quarterbacks. There's one other one I heard. A couple of 3. I'm not hiring a defensive minded guy, period. There's no defensive coordinators getting my head coaching job ever. I'll hire you as my defensive coordinator and pay you almost as much. But I need an offensive minded guy. You can hire an offensive coordinator and a quarterback's coach and a running back's coach, but the head coach needs to know offense, to me, period. They're looking at Belichick too. I don't know. Does he still work in the NFL? When Josh McDaniels was gone, Brady was terrible. Mac Jones was terrible. The Giants. I watched a lot of that game. I got some fantasy football implications. Didn't run the ball one time on first down. Every time I went to that game. Never ran the ball that I saw one time on first down with a rookie quarterback. Daboll. Blowing those leads. Game management coach. Hey, coach. You know, when 2 years ago when Aaron Rodgers blew his shit out, I blame the play calling. Very first play, Breece Hall goes 30 yards up the sideline, and then the next 3 you're throwing. And then he dropping back to pass, not saying he wouldn't have done it in a different situation, but you should have still been running the ball. When your very first play is 30 yards up the gut down the sideline, and then you're throwing 3 times, NFL's run by fucking idiots. How you jump off sides when it's 4th and 4, and you know they're going to draw you off, and you're a defensive tackle and the ball's right there. How the fuck do you jump off sides? Cleveland to lose the game. Run by idiots. Jackson Dart, you know, it's we need a public service announcement. It's not cool to not slide. You ain't being a big man. You ain't being tough. This is the fucking NFL, bro. When he got his concussion, you know, he was running. There was nowhere to slide. He had to get the first down. Plenty of times, though, when you're looking for contact and you're a quarterback, that is just moronic. And, you know, you might be winning a little bit of favor in the locker room, but if a guy's smart, he's going, what the fuck you doing, bro? Get the fuck out of bounds. Slide. It's not cool to not slide. Kind of like it's not cool to not do drugs in college. If you're a bookworm in college, you ain't cool unless you're a doctor or even a lawyer, you're partying. It ain't cool to not do drugs in college, and it ain't cool to not slide. Just snap the fucking ball. I don't even know. I just put it up there. Up the gut, idiots. Snap the fucking ball. It's 28-0. Why even punting? What's it matter if they get the ball at their own 20 or at the 50? And you're down 20 points and you score a touchdown with 2 minutes. Why aren't you onside kicking? The score doesn't fucking matter. There's no like quality of win or loss. It's your record. People are going to understand if it's 48-6 or 28-6 because you kicked a couple extra onsides and they got the ball. Weird shit happens. You're down 20 points and you score kicking onside. I don't care if there's 40 seconds left. You could go onside, Hail Mary, onside, Hail Mary. That takes 40 seconds. You never know. It's just like giving up or I don't want it to look bad. It looks bad either way. Don't punt when you're down 28-0. I don't care if it's the second quarter. Kicking onside. Throw a Hail Mary. Oh, Peyton Manning had a great rule. Kind of like I think they implemented the rule in basketball. If you take a 3/4 court shot and you miss, it doesn't go towards your field goal percentage, I believe. How about if you throw a pick on a Hail Mary at the end of the quarter or the half, it doesn't count in your stats. Because they're fun. Hail Marys are exciting. It's what the NFL wants, right? But if the quarterback and the coach doesn't want it on the stats, you know, and we lead the league in the least amount of turnovers, and there's something to be said for that. So NHL rule, no tush push. Hail Marys don't count as INTs. That's our 3 rule changes for next year so far. Oh, Houston, thank you. You took the lead. There's 40 seconds left. Jacksonville has the ball, and you're all out blitz. And you get a throwaway and a sack and an interception instead of the 3-man rush and the 8-man drop and let them get 40 yards and go kick a field goal. Thank you. And I was saying, bro, if they go 3-man rush right here, I'm going to fucking lose it. And I see 5-man blitz package, and they're never going to have time to throw a pass down the field if you put a blitz 5-man rush on when they have the ball at the 20 with 30 seconds left. Thank you, Houston. What's his name? Defensive-minded coach. Sorry. Just snap the fucking ball. Tush push is toast. How early the guard left. Officials can't see that. What the fuck? Tush push is toast. This is Monday night, 0-0 at half. Just snap the ball. Again, I don't even know when. 2:20 left, 2nd and 8, and you have to run the ball. You're up 3 points. There's 2:20 left. They have 2 timeouts. They did 2 incomplete passes, Sirianni, and then you're punting and they still have 2 timeouts and it's not even a 2-minute warning. You got to run the fucking ball. That's a game management. Fucking idiots. And then the throwing the bomb on 4th down with 40 seconds left and give them the ball at the 35 when even if you punt, it's at least at the 20. Those 15 yards are huge when there's 30 seconds left. Just lucky they didn't go kick a field goal. And one more thing about the tush push. Remember last year in the playoffs in Washington and they kept jumping? I mean, they can't officiate the tush push so much that they had to threaten the other team giving a touchdown to a team for running a fucked up play. If there's one more jumping, they're just going to award a touchdown. I've never heard of that. Just award a touchdown to a team because we can't officiate it. And everything we do is, it's advantage Philly, but let's just give Philly a touchdown. So after all that shit, the fumble and all the false starts and having to almost just concede a touchdown, just if they don't get rid of it, I'm telling you, I didn't mention the office. Ownership, coaching staffs, officiating, players, idiots. Oh, don't forget the head office. That about wraps up my notes, people. I do have one more thing. Me and Raz were talking, my good friend. You might know Raz. That's my notes. You know, it'd be cool. Trump wants the old kickoff back. I don't know, man. I thought the old kickoff's lame too, Jack. Way less returns. Maybe if you kick it in the end zone, they get it at the 35. I don't see anything wrong. I think it's kind of exciting, the new one, and a lot more returns. It's true, though. The average starting position is the 32-yard line, and it's not hard enough for defenses. So I'd have to think on that one. Bring back the old one because you got to have onside kicks anytime you want. So bring back the old, but tweak the rules a little bit. Maybe a kick from 5 yards back more. I don't know. And the reasoning behind it just didn't seem like there was a whole lot more concussions during kickoffs than other parts of the game. To me, I'm not a huge analytics, study all the science, but I didn't see a whole lot of guys getting hurt on kickoffs. So I wouldn't mind that. One last thing. I want there to be a game. They do mic'd up and then they have the show. What if there was a game? Well, I guess they couldn't do it during the game because there could be spies, but I want a mic'd up of put a microphone in the helmet of the quarterback, listening to the calls up until 15 seconds. What exactly is the OC or whoever's calling the plays? What exactly are they saying to him? Because from when the ball gets placed, 40 seconds till 15 seconds, and then it cuts off. Yeah. That would be so cool to have a mic'd up. But I guess, then they'd know all their calls and it's probably not you could do it and release it 3 years later. So start this year and release it in 2030. But I would love to hear what's going on in the quarterback's helmet. Okay, guys, brother Jack, Raz, Jack's sister, Lori, been a pleasure. Come on into my restaurant, Lori. I'll hook you up. And I don't say it too often, but Poipu, Kauai, the beach house. The middle of the Pacific Ocean. This is Brother Richie. We're out of here. I'll catch you next week. Aloha. Be good.